Have you ever felt that the universe is trying to communicate with you? Well, I recently had this very real feeling that led to my cancer diagnosis. And after this, I've been keenly aware and have started to see even more signs. Now, if you are picking up on these signs, it might be a sign that you are more intuitive than others. These individuals tend to be a little bit more empathetic, but it can also be seen as a gift as well as a curse, because these individuals can also have a bit more anxiety as well. Now, maybe you don't pick up on these things, or you just view them as coincidences, but that's okay too. Anyone has the ability to pick up and tap into this side a little bit closer, and I'll teach you a few ways that you can start today. So about over a decade ago, I was living in Baltimore. I own a townhouse there, and in the back there's a small porch as well as a parking pad. There's absolutely no plants, no trees. It's all concrete. And I very keenly remember going outside. It was early December, because it was cold, but it wasn't freezing cold. I was very upset. I was just going through a really bad breakup in my life and through a really rough time, and it felt like my life was in chaos. I had been crying that morning, and I wanted to just sit outside to get some fresh air because it was a really crisp morning. And as I was sitting outside on my patio, I saw a huge praying mantis just sitting on one of my chairs out there. And I remember thinking that this was so odd and then also pretty special, because I remember learning as a kid that praying mantises are whatever, hard to spot, because out in the wild they tend to blend in with vegetation and they move very slowly. I also thought it was just odd and kind of cool because there was absolutely no plant life in this area, and it was chilly out. I don't know what climate praying mantis is typically like, but it was unexpected, to say the least. So because I thought this was so odd to see this praying mantis in my backyard, I did Google and look up, was there a special meaning to spotting a praying mantis? And what I found was that it meant good fortune, blessings, and divine protection. After I read this, I started crying again, because the breakup I was going through was bad, like scary bad, to the point that I needed a protective order bad, and I was scared. And when I spotted this praying mantis and read that the sign meant divine protection, it gave me a complete sense of calm. And when I was in a moment of just complete despair and turmoil, it really brought me peace, and I felt like it was the universe telling me that it was going to be okay, that I was safe. So that praying mantis in that moment always stuck with me. And about 5 years ago, there was someone I was very close to who was young that passed away from stage 4 cancer. And it really, really shook me to my core, because she was one of the kindest people. She was very healthy from what I could see in every way. And it just seemed so sudden and so unfair. Fast forward a few years ago, there was just a gut feeling that I didn't feel something was off with me. I had no really visible signs or symptoms that I had cancer at the time. It was more of just a gut feeling, an instinct. And I do get a physical every single year, and I usually put it off until the least possible moment. We get like a discount for doing it at work, and I usually do it like right before the deadline. But that last year in particular, I decided to do it right after the holiday and not put it off, because there was just something nagging me that something wasn't right. And I immediately told my doctor during that physical to just test me for everything, check my thyroid, send me in for, let me have a pap smear, let me have my first mammogram. I've never had any family history of cancer, nothing like that. It was just more of throw the book at me. I was the same age now of my friend who had previously passed away, and there was just this gut feeling that something was off. And I'll never forget it. I went to my first and only mammogram, and reading the room, I knew something was not right. The very next day, I was scheduled for a biopsy. And again, I was really scared, and you could just tell that something wasn't right. I was taking a walk on the beach. I hadn't gotten the biopsy results back, but I was pretty sure that it wasn't good news that I was waiting on. The doctors, they had already scheduled me for an MRI before even getting those biopsy results. So I was pretty sure I was dealing with something serious, most likely cancer. And I'll never forget, it was January, and I saw a police vehicle that was wrapped in a breast cancer awareness wrap. And it wasn't October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so I thought it was kind of odd. I always see like a police car on the beach, but it's never wrapped. And so when I spotted that, I saw it as a universal sign that, yeah, I had breast cancer, but it was gonna be okay. I had caught it, and I was gonna be okay. And it was a very calming feeling to see that police car wrapped in that breast cancer awareness wrap. And there was just something that came over me that I was like, this is okay. I caught it early enough. And after going through the diagnosis stages, I did find out that I had stage 3 breast cancer. And I don't know if the outcome would have been different had I waited or not followed my instinct and, even got my physical a few months later. But those really stand out in my life, that looking for those universal signs and so whether you're intuitive or you recognize signs from the universe or not at all, there are ways that you can tap into it and practice, and ways that you can really look for these signs in the world. Life can be chaotic. You get caught up in the hustle and bustle. Things sometimes just do seem like coincidences, and I'm very much a realist, and I don't believe in making something out of nothing. But I do believe that when you quiet your mind, you can see and hear what the universe is trying to tell you, whether it's a message from someone that is passed on, or kind of like just a wink that you're on the right path. There are signs out there that absolutely anyone can tap into. Tapping into your intuition involves developing an awareness, as well as a mindfulness and a trust in yourself. So how do you do this if this is something that doesn't come easily for you? The first way to do this is to practice mindfulness and just be still. Meditate for five minutes a day, and If this doesn't come easily to you, just try to quiet your mind. Just try to be still with absolutely no distractions. Don't go through your phone, turn off the TV, and just be still and start to recognize what you're feeling. Are you feeling anxious? Quiet your mind. Are you thinking about what you have to do when you're done this 5-minute meditation? Then go back, quiet your mind some more. Every day or every week, if you practice this, it will get easier. Pay attention to repetition in your life. Are you noticing numbers like 222, 1111? If so, what could these patterns be trying to tell you? Are you in a good headspace when you spot 1111 or these numbers? Take notes when you do notice repetition. Jot down in your notes what you were doing, how you were feeling, and you'll start to see a pattern emerge. I personally see 1111 a lot, and I have noticed that I see it more presently when I'm in a positive mind space, and I always sometimes think it's a fun coincidence, but it does. Every time I spot it, I do make a note of it, and it's when I'm in a good mood. If you're keeping a journal and jotting down notes of the repetition and the numbers that you're noticing, also take time to journal about your past experiences and reflect on some signs that maybe you could have missed at the moment, but maybe looking back at it, there was something telling you that this is a message from the universe. I know when I first moved to Florida, I would spot manatees out my balcony window. And I remember being really nervous moving to a new city for the first time. And anytime I spotted a manatee, it gave me a sense of calmness and put a smile on my face. So looking back at it, I think spotting those manatees were also a sign that I was making friends. I was going to be okay. I was in a new city, but I don't think I would have recognized that at the time, but looking back and reflecting is also a very fun activity to do, because you can realize, hey, there's a lot of signs that I've been sent over the years. Now, I think the easiest way to actually recognize signs is just by asking for them. So it could be something simple like, if I'm on the right path, I want to see a blue butterfly within the next 48 hours. Be specific in your asks, not just a butterfly, a blue butterfly. And you've also assigned a time period to it. So not, in a month from now when you're in like a garden or, where you're going to expect to see a butterfly, but similar to me seeing a praying mantis in my backyard concrete jungle, completely unexpected. I didn't ask for that sign, but had I, that would have been really cool. Also, stay detached from the outcome. Sometimes you can ask for a sign and you might not get it, and that's okay. But ask for signs. Be specific. Put a time frame to it. You'll be surprised at what comes to fruition. Learn to trust that first feeling. So that gut feeling you get right before maybe your logic kicks in or jumps in is usually your intuitive voice. So learn to recognize that and practice listening to it in low risk situations. So really learn and lean in with your gut. One of my favorite things to do is to also engage with nature. Go outside and be present. It really helps you recalibrate your energy. A good idea is also to just take a break from external noise. Turn off the news, shut down your social media, and really tune out all of that external noise and focus on what's happening right in front of you, within you, and in your environment immediately around you. And finally, to tap into your intuitive side, practice gratitude and self-compassion. A grateful and self-accepting mindset helps keep your energy aligned. It really helps you stay clear so you can help yourself notice the signs and then also to follow your gut. If you've had any experiences recognizing signs from the universe, I would love to hear your story. I think sharing stories overall of, personal stories of what you've experienced as well as others just helps open up your mind even more to be able to recognize signs that the universe might be trying to tell you. If you're interested in learning more about spirituality or intuition, please feel free to check back on my channel and page, as I will be sharing more stories like this, as well as more tips in order to tap into your deeper sense of self and your intuition. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like or subscribe to my channel. I've got a gut feeling that you're going to enjoy it.